the show called It's Time to Tell a Joke. I'm your host, Alan Wegener. So, how's your week been going? In fact, how's your day been going? Not so good? Well, it's that time again for me to share some jokes with you that I believe will help brighten your day and hopefully cheer you up a little bit better for the rest of the show. So, are we ready with this show? Well, grab yourself a cup of coffee or a beer from the fridge and sit right back down in the easy chair, relax, and enjoy the show. Well, did you hear about the Canadian guy who was walking down the street with a case of beer under his arm? His friend Randy stops him and asks, "Hey Dave, what you got for that case of beer for?" "Well, I got it for my wife, you see," answers Dave. Well, Randy says, "Wow, that's a great trade." All right. So, did you hear about the one with the Lone Ranger and Tonto sitting in the bar? Well, after a few minutes, a big tall cowboy walked in and said, "Who owns this big white horse outside?" Well, the Lone Ranger stood up and said, "I do. Why?" Well, the cowboy just looked at the Lone Ranger and told him, "Well, I just thought you would like to know that your horse is just about to die outside from a heat stroke." So the Lone Ranger and Tonto rushed outside, and sure enough, Silver was about dead from heat exhaustion. Well, the Lone Ranger says to Tonto, "Tonto, I want you to run around Silver and see if you can create enough breeze to make him start to feel better." Well, Tonto says to the Lone Ranger, "Sure, Kimosabe," and took off running around circles for Silver. Not to do anything else but to wait, the Lone Ranger returned to the bar to finish his drink. A few minutes later, another cowboy comes walking into the bar and announces, "Who owns the big white horse outside?" Well, the Lone Ranger stands up again and says, "I do. What is wrong with him this time?" "Well, nothing much. I just thought that you would like to know that you left your engine running." Okay. So did you ever read the one about the letter to the IRS? Well, here's a brief letter about one that was written to them. The letter went something like this. "Dear Internal Revenue Service, enclosed you will find my tax form 2005 return, showing that I owe $3,407 in taxes. Please note that I have attached an article from the USA Today newspaper dated 12th of November, where you will see the Pentagon of the Department of Defense is paying for the following: $171.50 as per hammer they have bought. NASA has paid $600 per toilet seat. Please note I am enclosing 4 toilet seats. These are valued at $2,400 and 6 hammers that are valued at $1,029, which I secured at Home Depot, bringing the total to $3,429. Please apply the overpayment of $22 to the presidential election fund as noted on my return. It has been a pleasure to pay my tax bill this year, and I look forward to paying it again next year. Sincerely yours, a satisfied taxpayer. Okay. It's now time for our brief PSA announcement. So it's time for you to go to the fridge and get another beer or another good cup of coffee, and we'll return in just a brief moment.
There are many statistics in our lives, but they never matter until we become one. My only son became a statistic. Stand up and be counted to end the cycle of violence.
Log on to thepeacealliance.org to find out how you can get involved.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Here are some Murphy's lesser known laws here again, just for you to give you something to think about. 1. He who laughs last thinks the slowest. 2. Nothing is foolproof to a sufficiently talented fool. 3. When you are going to go to court, you are putting yourself into the hands of 12 people who weren't smart enough to get out of jury duty. All right. So did you hear about the new rules at all? Well, here's a new rule. Did you know that there's no such thing as flavored water? There's a whole aisle of this stuff at the supermarket called water, without the watery taste. Sorry, but flavored water is what they really called a soft drink. So you want flavored water? Pour some scotch over ice and let it melt. That's your flavored water. Here's another new rule. Ladies, leave your eyelashes alone. Here's how much men really care about your eyebrows. You have 2 of them, right? Okay, we're done talking about it. So are you ready for some more dictionary words for you women out there in my TV audience? Here's one. Blonde jokes, a noun. Jokes that are short so that men can relate to them. 2, patience, a noun. The most important ingredient for dating, marriage, and then children. See also tranquilizers. 3, waterproof mascara, noun. Comes off if you cry, shower, or swim, but will not come off if you try to personally remove it. Okay, question. What is the difference between chopped beef and pea soup? Answer: everyone can buy beef, but not everybody can pea soup. Okay. Last night I had a fight with my girlfriend. Between me and my girlfriend was my fault. My girlfriend asked me what was on TV. So I said dust. Question. What is the difference between a PhD in mathematics and a large pizza? Well, a large pizza can feed a family of 5. Question. What do you get if you add 2 apples and 3 apples? Answer, a high school math problem. And question, how does one insult a mathematician? Answer, well, you just say to the mathematician, your brain is smaller than 0. Okay, how's my TV audience doing out there? Are you ready for another break? Do you need to go get another cup of coffee or another beer out of the fridge? Well, this is your chance, and we'll be right back with a brief PSA announcement, and be ready for some more jokes.
Hey, I'm Ted from GRTV, and I'm here to make a show about how to put a show on GRTV. All you got to do is have a tape, or a DVD, or a flash drive with your video on it, and you bring it down here to GRTV. We're at 711 Bridge Street. It's the second floor of the Bridge Street Library. Come on up. All you got to do is grab a form here, GRTV application for Cablecast. I already filled this one out. It's got my name of the show, length of the show, all real basic stuff about the show. And then you want to read through this contract. It's got some basic legal obligation stuff. Sign and date at the bottom, and then you want to put your contact info so we can reach you, your phone number, your email address, your whatever you've got to fill out for that, and then fill out a little survey on the back. And all you got to do is bring it in, hand it in to Liz, and you're done. That's it. You're done, son.
Woo! You're done, son. I like that. I'm a dork. I like that. Okay, well, that was fun. Okay.
I think that was good? I think that was good.
Welcome back. So, how's your new cup of coffee doing for you? Well, I hope it's helping you to get through the show today. And by the way, I'd love to hear from my TV audience what your favorite kind of beer is, or what your favorite kind of coffee is. So please let me hear from you. So, all right. Are you ready for some more telemarketer jokes out there? So, do you want to know how to get rid of those telemarketers once and for all? Here's how to get rid of them. Tell the telemarketer you are busy at the moment when they call you. So ask them if they will give you their home phone number so that you can call them back at their home. When the telemarketers explain that telemarketers cannot give out their home phone number, you could just say to them, well, I guess you don't want anyone bothering you at home, right? Well, the telemarketer will agree with you, and then you will say, me either. Then just hang up on them. Here's another telemarketer plot that you can pull on them, and it goes something like this. If the company cleans rugs, respond by saying, can you get out blood? Can you especially get out goat blood? How about the chance of getting out human blood? Saying this to them should shock them enough that they won't even want to do any business with you in the first place. And finally, when you answer the phone and you find out that it is a telemarketer calling at last, just pretend that you cannot hear them by saying this to them. Huh? What? I can't hear you very well. My batteries are going dead in my hearing aid. folks in my TV audience ready for some more elevator jokes? Well, when you stop on each floor, just pretend that you're the elevator operator and say, "Ding, 7th floor." Stare at the other passenger, when they look back at you, and you just look really mean and say, "What are you staring at anyways?" 3, when everybody gets on the elevator and the door closes, just ask this question: does anyone have a confession to make? And then you can take a bite out of your sandwich you're holding that you are eating, and then ask another passenger, "Do you want to see what's in my mouth?" And finally, when everyone is on the elevator at the bottom of the lobby floor and it starts to take off, just tell them, "Man, I gotta go to the bathroom." All right. Here's one between the Pope and God. God calls up the Pope one day and says, "I've got some good news and I've got some bad news." So the Pope asks, "What is the good news, God?" God says, "I've decided that there should be one church and one religion. No more confusion," God says. "Well, that sounds good, God. So what is the bad news?" the Pope asks. "Well, the bad news is I'm calling from Salt Lake City." Okay. So did you hear about the man who walked into the bar? He said, "Ouch." So did you hear about the one between the policeman and the speeding motorist? Well, the speeding motorist was stopped by a policeman for going over the speed limit on the highway. The police officer was writing the speeding ticket when the motorist asked this question. He asked the police officer how he knew he was speeding. Well, the police officer just pointed up his finger towards the sky above him. And the speeding motorist asked, "You mean even he is against me?" Okay. So you ever thought about prison versus work? Well, in case you get these two environments confused, this should clear things up for you to think about it. Aren't you glad that you are free to watch TV? Okay. So did you hear about the dog that walked into the bar one day? Well, a dog walks into a bar and hops up on the stool. He looks at the bartender in the eye and says, "Hey, guess what? I can talk. Have you ever seen a talking dog before? How about a drink?" Well, the bartender thinks about this for a moment and says, "Sure, the toilet is just right around the corner." Okay. So are you ready for some more blonde jokes again? Question: why did the blind blonde cross the road? Answer: she was following her seeing eye chicken. Question: why did the blonde put lipstick on her face? Answer: she was trying to make up her mind. And question, why was the blonde disappointed with her trip to England? Answer, well, she found out that Big Ben was a clock. So, do you think you might have the case of some road rage in you again? Well, here's when you just might have that road rage fatigue. Well, when you are for a lack of having a more effective weapon to use, you find yourself threatening other drivers with a cigarette lighter. Or that your car is only a year old, but you're on the fifth horn already. On your license, under restrictions, it says Valium required. Okay, so is my TV audience out there ready for another beer break or a cup of coffee? Well, here's a chance where you can go and get another one, and we'll take a brief PSA and be right back with some more jokes.
Exhilarating exercise, competitive excitement, rewarding experiences. Put every member of your family on the fast track with Michigan BMX. Admission's free and equipment affordable. Get the gang together for a fun, wild ride. Get the jump now on a track near you at mibmx.com.
All right, everyone.
Can we get it quiet on set?
I need track 3 queued and audio ready. Camera 3
On preview and ready to fade.
and we're ready to roll in 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Music in and fade camera 3.
Welcome to the GRTV studio. In this studio, Grand Rapids Community Media Center members have the ability to bring their experiences to life. If you have a hobby, skill, or experience you want to share,
this is the perfect venue for you to showcase your talents and ideas.
Whether it's a talk show,
that's illegal. You have to keep that in mind. You really shouldn't say things like that on television. All right.
A talent show or a sitcom.
potential writers, directors, actors, or just techies. This is the perfect place for you to hone your skills. Here are the next dates for the available classes. For more information, check us out on our website at www.grcmc.org or stop in at 711 Bridge Street for a personal tour of the facility. Hope to see you there.
Fade to black and music out. All right, that's a wrap, everybody.
And welcome back to the show again. So here we go with some more jokes for you folks. The motorist was in court talking with the magistrate. The magistrate says, "But if you saw the lady driving towards you, why didn't you give her half the road?" Well, the motorist responded, "I was going to, Your Honor, as soon as I could figure out which half that she wanted." Okay, we'll close out the show with this, some good old light bulb jokes again for me to share with my TV audience. Question: how many recovering addicts does it take to screw in a light bulb? Answer: 2 of them, of course. one to screw it in, and the other one to sponsor them. Question. How many dyslexics does it take the light bulb to change? Answer, Eno, of course. Question. How many WWE wrestlers does it take to change a light bulb? Answer, 5 of them. 3 to set up the drama, and 2 of them to fake it. Okay. Well, that's all for the show today called It's Time to Tell a Joke. I hope it has put a smile on your face, brighten your day. And until the next show, keep sharing a joke with somebody who looks like they could use one. And I hope you have a good day. I'm your host, Alan Wegener.